This is Scorpius 9472, and beside me is a guest host tonight.
I am Sammy, and I am his friend.
And we're going to be discussing a few topics on WWE. First of all, the Royal Rumble and how we feel that it should have gone. So, the two title matches were brilliant, don't get me wrong.
Mm-hmm.
And there's one thing I will have to say about the Raw one. I feel that Kevin Owens could have defended it cleanly, but the story probably wanted to go around the way of Braun Strowman fucking up Roman Reigns, so that those two have a feud between themselves, because obviously the fans are getting pissed that Roman Reigns is getting such a good push.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel that if Roman Reigns goes against Braun Strowman, then Braun Strowman will, get more fans on his side, because he's just a fucking monster. Have you seen how built that guy is?
He's crazy.
So what do you feel about the Raw title match, and how do you think it should have gone?
I like the aspect of the no DQ. The table spot was pretty cool. With, I think it was Roman spearing Kevin into it.
Yes.
Yep. And the chairs, the triangle chairs, when Kevin Owens crashed into the chairs, that was amazing. But one thing I would say was there was no point with Braun Strowman interfering.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, because I thought it was better with Chris Jericho interfering, or slightly interfering, and yeah.
I think that would have stemmed, obviously the no DQ would have accepted that Chris Jericho could be there, but obviously Roman couldn't deal with two people.
Yeah.
Even though he's sat in there in the Shield where it was the numbers game all the time, which I feel is kind of bullshit, to be honest.
Yeah.
But the deal with WWE will handle it how they want to handle it. So the storyline ends up stemming that Roman Reigns goes against Braun Strowman. They end up having a 3-match feud, and Braun Strowman may be able to get a win, but Vince McMahon might get Braun Strowman to win the first match, stemming that he is a fucking monster and a beast. But one thing I didn't get right is that they built him up so much through all those little promos of the Royal Rumble, and for his ass to get knocked out by Baron Corbin. And don't get me wrong, right? Baron Corbin is a good wrestler.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But Braun Strowman is just fucking overpowered.
Yeah, I think that Braun Strowman should match up with someone of his caliber, I don't know, The Undertaker. I know a lot of people did not want The Undertaker to go with Braun Strowman, and they didn't go with that. But I think now he's had more experience and he's gotten a little bit better. I think he could be a real test for The Undertaker.
That would be a good match card. I'd definitely be up for seeing that. One match card I would like to see, possibly John Cena going against Braun Strowman, but that will never happen since they're on the separate roster.
Yeah.
But if there's on the Survivor Series, maybe that might happen later on in the year. I always look forward to the draft, because you never know what's going to happen, because they switch a lot of people around. They get loads of draft picks. Yeah. And it's depending on the wrestling matches, isn't it? On whichever roster gets the win, basically gets it.
Yeah.
But on the Battle Royal, I think they get 2 picks if they win.
Yeah, I think it's two or three.
2 or 3, yeah.
Kind of depends, yeah.
But the runner-up gets 1 pick.
Mm-hmm.
With that in mind, speaking about Survivor Series, I feel that someday soon they should bring back the ECW roster. Just because, right? Paul Heyman, obviously he wasn't GM for that roster for very long, but I feel the experience that he's gained through the years of being advocate of Brock Lesnar, CM Punk, Cesaro, and at one time Curtis Axel, I feel that he would be able to utilise that roster to be able to push wrestlers that aren't getting as much limelight. But ECW would be like another workout sort of situation for the wrestlers, you know. Obviously, Raw and SmackDown are very good respective rosters, but I feel that ECW needs to make its comeback, and Raw and Paul Heyman needs to be its CEO.
I agree.
And maybe the GM could be William Regal.
Yeah, or even Tommy Dreamer or someone from the original ECW. I think also like the original ECW should be involved, like the original hardcore, not the WWE style version of ECW, because that was complete and utter cack for another term.
I totally agree because before 2001, it used to be like hardcore matches and so on. It was just perfect. Obviously, we weren't alive to sort of be in that sort of situation where we're like, oh yeah, we're watching it from like this era. But like watching back over, it seemed like that was the better time. And now since WWE had taken it over, it kind of broke that cycle. Yeah, I think. Oh, sorry, go on.
I think like back in like the 90s, there was like obviously the WCW with the cruiserweights and the Attitude Era, and obviously ECW. I think that back then, like it was a lot better rounded with the stories with like Rock and Austin and Undertaker and Austin, or Triple H and The Rock, and that was like better storytelling than even like today. Like,
I think when there's like loads of rosters involved, obviously the WWE will be the main one, but I think you just need to have a balance with all of them having like their different storylines so they tie in together, because that would make one big fucking I don't know, maybe one big impact that would benefit. One thing I will mention about the ECW, obviously ECW would be its own maybe respective roster,
like
but
NXT.
Yeah, exactly. But if ECW were to be in the limelight, right, I feel that ECW and TNA could merge together, because TNA already kind of looks like the ECW, but without the WWE taking over. And already TNA is like ECW, because did you see that time when ECW Legends took it over? Absolutely obliterated the whole TNA roster.
Yeah, that was incredible, especially with Abyss and RVD. Abyss with Janice when he hit RVD over the head and like all the blood was gushing out of his body. And I mean, obviously wrestlers have to take care too, and I understand if they don't want to do any of those hardcore matches, but they don't have to do barbed wire. I mean, that one's just senseless. Like, what the fuck? Like, that's like, don't get me wrong, that's like asking someone to cut themselves deliberately just to get into the to get into the match. Obviously, they used to do that with the blading and all sorts. Yeah. So I'm kind of glad that stopped, because they've got like other methods to do it, like a little like pressure pad here that kind of releases fake blood. Yeah. I also think now today they're a lot more smarter with how they do the moves, especially since Chris Benoit dying. Like with the concussions and all of that, I think that if they would do an ECW, that would be a lot safer and a lot easier to do than back.
Honestly, right, then this is no copy infringement, but I think from watching WCPW, there are a lot less botches in that, and I've never seen any botches in that so far. So well done to that. You know, I've been watching it and following it for a good while.
Yeah, me too.
And I really do enjoy watching their shows and everything like that. So you should kind of a bit of a shout out to them and to say thanks for bringing back all the wrestlers that didn't get enough airtime and everything like that.
Yeah, I think also with WCPW, they're just doing what they love. You know, they love pro wrestling, and that is what they're doing. And I think that they're actually doing it better than what WWE are actually doing it now, because they've got like better storylines and like champions and different people coming in and out and that kind of stuff. Yeah.
one thing I am a bit pissed off about as well with the WWE
Mm-hmm.
is that obviously with the small time wrestlers, you see like a lot of the cruiserweights getting a lot of limelight, right? And there's lots of cruiserweights inside the Raw roster and SmackDown. What pissed me off about the Royal Rumble, right, is James Ellsworth coming in at, was it 27 he came in at?
Yeah, I think it was 27. Yeah.
What the fuck was that? I understand, right, that they want to create a few bit of humoristic parts, right? And the only humoristic part I would accept is having like Santina Morella coming out, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Maybe like half a second would be the new breaking record, you know. But what was the point? Yeah. James Ellsworth is an irrelevant wrestler. Like, I don't hate him as a person. I just don't like him as a wrestler. Like, what is there to do with that guy? Like, he sat there with Carmella, and he's trying to elevate himself from that wrestler. He's not doing himself any favours, so if anything, he's just making it worse for himself.
And, like, we're not trying to bash WWE. We love WWE, but I think with James Ellsworth, I think that he's just out of touch. He's gone the long haul. Like he's
you lose your train of thought.
Yeah.
Sorry guys, that often happens when in doing these sort of recordings, and obviously it's going to be raw footage and we're going to show every part of it, so you know there's going to be mistakes, fuck ups and everything. And my brother just kind of told me this is why I was looking that way, that Enzo had basically entered at number 27. Sorry, bit of forgetfulness, but it happens.
Yeah, I think it was.
But what we're trying to get at is James Ellsworth. He's a pointless not a draft, but a pointless person that came in the Royal Rumble. I mean, there were so many other people, so many other different things that could have happened with his draft, with his, like, what the fuck, man. I would have accepted Kurt Angle coming back, or...
That would be amazing.
I wanted him to have a feud with someone who had the United States title.
Samoa Joe, maybe.
Or even Rusev, right?
Yeah.
Back when he was being a Russian dickhead. He was actually Bulgarian.
Yeah. And what did you think about number 30?
Number 30. I thought it was dog shit. He called himself the big dog, the guy. I call him dog shit, the motherfucker.
Yeah.
It's just... I do love Roman Reigns, right? And he is a great wrestler and all. And he's adapting his wrestling style to basically say that he's not doing 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 moves in order to sort of set up, pin him, and go home with money after the end of the day. He's adapting his wrestling style to sort of say that, look, this is me, I can wrestle, I can do other things, I'm not just this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guy. Give him credit where it's due. He does perform great, right? I'm not doubting that, I'm not disputing that. What I don't like is the WWE giving him so much of a push and then...
They're basically just turning him into the next John Cena.
They're trying to do the same thing what they did with The Rock. Obviously, with what they did with The Rock fucking worked, right? And even when you turned him heel, it worked, right? So I feel that they should turn Roman Reigns heel.
Yeah.
Or all of the people of the Shield heel.
Yeah, I mean, what they did with Seth Rollins was pretty cool when he was a heel. You know, he was United States champion, he was WWE champion. But I think, like, since he's come back, he hasn't really done anything.
No.
Like, he went for the Universal title, he lost. He went for it again, he lost. He went for it again, he lost. Now I think at WrestleMania, I think that maybe it will be Seth Rollins' time to shine.
Yeah, I think so as well. What I feel what should happen, right, is they should have another tag title opportunity, or at least maybe like that all three of them are still are wearing gold. I feel that obviously 2 of them are at Raw, but I feel at Survivor Series if my call is right, that Dean Ambrose ends up going to Raw, and they end up swapping someone else from Raw to SmackDown, I feel that it would be immense, because I feel that Stephanie is turning into a heel. Obviously she's a heel anyway, but she's turning into one of those fucking vindictive bitches that she usually plays anyway.
She's an amazing heel. I must say that. Yeah.
And I feel that a group of 3 people need to turn heel or go back to the Shield. If they go back to the Shield, right, they need to do that at Survivor Series. When Dean Ambrose is drafted, and when they're drafted to Raw, I think they should be, when they're in the Battle Royal, right, the Shield members come in at the last 3. You know, you see Sierra Hotel, India Echo, Lima Delta, Shield, and you see all 3 of them running down the ramp, or walking down the ramp all together. They don't necessarily have to walk down in their Shield outfits, because obviously it'll be the end of the draft, and obviously they won't be wearing their Shield attire. Yeah. I mean, that was just a gimmick, I suppose.
Yeah, I mean, like, that would be amazing if they would all come back, because everybody loved the Shield, and I think in 2014 that was the right time to let them all, like, go do their own thing.
Yes, I agree.
Yeah, because they were at their peak. But I think now everyone's kind of missing that kind of era or that kind of year. And I think they need that kind of year for WWE to come back on top.
What I think they need to do, right, is when it sparked off where the WWE were getting the Shield to take out a few people who were kind of legendary in that time. Yeah. And a lot of people had enough of it, right? So they ended up having did they end up having they ended up getting almost all the roster, not all in the same matches, of course, but in separate matches, because they all had a feud with the Shield. But none of it ever fucking worked. Not a hope. They just destroyed everyone that they come across. But I feel if the Shield was to reunite right now or the next month, it'll be too soon. I feel it needs to happen maybe till the end of the year. Otherwise it'll be too soon for them. Obviously, Roman Reigns is going to go to Braun Strowman and try to kick his ass, and then Dean Ambrose with his Intercontinental Championship title.
Miz, maybe?
Yeah, I think maybe he will. Dean Ambrose will lose it, but I feel it will be from a new superstar that will come through, and it could be Shinsuke Nakamura or Finn Balor that comes back to take that title.
Yes.
I feel Finn Balor would be a good candidate to take it away from Dean Ambrose, but Dean Ambrose would have to go to Raw in order for that to happen.
Yeah, I think with that, I think that Finn Balor should regain his Universal title and maybe have AJ come over for the US to have the club on Raw, all titles, a bit like the Shield. But
yes,
yeah,
that'll be good.
Yeah.
Also, what I feel that they should cover, right, is they should either make up or break up with fucking CM Punk and get him back on the fucking roster, man, because he is so entertaining. And I feel that now that the Shields have broken up, right, he can finally have his match with Roman Reigns that he never got.
Yeah, I mean, I think that CM Punk is literally one of the greatest wrestlers alive today. His matches with John Cena, especially at Money in the Bank 2012, I think it was, when he ran out. He came back. He did so much good for the company, but I think the WWE kind of dropped the ball with him in the main event of WrestleMania. They were just on the cusp. WrestleMania 29. He was really close. I mean, I think that match with The Undertaker was the main event, and I think that he should definitely have been in the main event.
Or at least a triple threat match to even make it more fair. You know, even he didn't have to win, right? And The Undertaker could have overcome both odds of defeating John Cena and CM Punk, because both of them, right? Both of them in their respective fields would want to go in a match against him. But how would it have been in a triple threat match? Maybe CM Punk wouldn't have liked the match outcome, but I feel he would have gone against the best. Obviously, maybe he would have wanted it where he wanted a one-on-one match with Undertaker. It didn't have to be title or nothing, just a one-on-one match with someone of his caliber.
Yeah. I mean, like...
Sorry, I can't remember.
I just miss CM Punk. You know, CM Punk, as I said, is one of the greatest of this era, and I want him back. If you're watching this, CM Punk, I want you back.
He's not going to watch it, is he?
Probably not.
Oh.
No.
Well, we're being hopeful. We're hopeful fans, and we look forward to the future of the WWE. Wherever it takes us, wherever it goes, we'll see. Well, that's been our talk for today. I hope you've enjoyed it. This has been Sammy. This has been me, Scorpius9472. If you have any questions or queries or want to have your opinion and your say, comment down below. If you're new, like and subscribe. I'm doing a few games on my channel, so, you know, have a bit of a look at that. I'm not sure, but we may do this WrestleTalk quite frequently. Obviously, we'll have to watch a good few of the episodes and kind of review it a little bit. We're not trying to sort of copyright WCPW, we're just kind of trying to do our own thing, and before we chime in on what's going on with the WWE, because we feel that a lot of things need to happen, and this is just our opinion on those things.
And I think that maybe we could actually help some fans, or help even some of the writers with other ideas or whatever.
Because we obviously we care about what fans wanna do, right? And if they've got their own sort of like dream matches and everything like that, obviously not all of them can be attainable, but with logic and with reasoning, right? A few of these dreams can be availed and made possible. And
they have. With AJ Styles, everyone wanted AJ Styles to be in WWE, and he did.
Exactly. Yeah. So it's just a matter of everyone pulling together, and just referring back to when CM Punk left, Triple H obviously made a statement saying, like, if it's best for business and CM Punk wants to come back and people would want him, then he will take him back, and there's no problem with that. I do feel obviously there's tension between Triple H and CM Punk, because both of them are those type of people where they go at it for ages and none of them would win.
Yeah, they're very confrontational.
I think that Triple H should stay on the NXT roster just to baby that more, and stay away from CM Punk. But I don't know, they just need to better their relationship with, you know, talking to each other.
Build bridges.
Yeah, exactly. We built bridges, and CM Punk obviously needs to be more vocal about sort of things, because obviously Triple H was shooting on him, saying that he'd never really say what's wrong with him or what's going on. He'd always leave it to the last minute, and that's sort of what happened. Is it's up for discussion. If you guys have something to say about it, let us know in the comment section below. If Sammy is ending up going to set up his channel soon, so check that out. I'll put the name of his channel in the description, and we'll see you soon in the next video. Thank you guys for watching.